Welcome to our stock trades. In this channel, we like to find the intrinsic value of a company. We go ahead and take two approaches, a technical and fundamental approach. I got some requests to go over the stock, so if you stick around, we're going to be able to assign a price target using our proprietary intrinsic value calculation. But I would like to first call your attention on the technicals, as those are extremely important. Okay, so check this out. If you look at the moving averages here, and this is the weekly, you can see that Voyager has crossed to the downward side, meaning that we are heavily in a downward momentum. The RSI is near oversold, so we could be near a bottom, but you have to ask yourself, we're extremely far away from this. And with the current environment that, if you may, changed the fundamentals of the crypto business regarding what happened with Luna, Celsius, Warren Buffett specifically stated that in times of high interest rates, when debt becomes extremely expensive, once the tide has been lifted, you are going to see who has been swimming naked. And you have seen Luna, Celsius, and multiple others. And it's almost like the collapse of the Lehman Brothers by holding the mortgage-backed securities. So from this technical analysis perspective, you can see that it's broken, and we have entered a crypto winter, especially during, if you look at the descent of Bitcoin. But going back to Voyager Digital, you can see that when rates were starting to be loosened, risk on asset plays started to take into effect, and we started seeing stocks like Voyager Digital go extremely parabolic. But right now, we're going to a risk-off period. We have extreme Fed tightening by removing the monetary easing that it's been done for the past 2 years, even a little further, and sucking all that money up, and at the same time raising the interest rates. I believe right now the federal funds rate sits anywhere between 1.6 to 1.75. If you don't know what that means, please do your due diligence and understand what is the federal funds rate. Just recently, we had a 75 basis point rate hike, and I believe we are going to experience another one subsequently, as inflation has not even peaked. So understand that this could fall down past to these levels where it used to trade at for quite some time in the 3 to 6 cents region. However, the revenue and the gross margins, the profit margins are actually really impressive for Voyager. So we're going to go over all that, and this video is going to encompass. But understand that we are headed towards a crypto winter. A lot of asset classes we've seen have been over leveraged, like the collapse of the Lehman Brothers and all these components, for example, Celsius and all these things. So, I mean, you got to just remember that we're headed towards a crypto winter. And as you can see right now, the Bitcoin levels have been falling down. And right now, the hold off support line for Bitcoin is around $18,000. If it breaks, we're going down to like $13,000 to $10,000. So understand that we are below the moving average off of this weekly chart, which takes a satellite macro perspective view. So we are heavily on the down end. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Voyager's books here, and we can see that Voyager has been doing extremely well with the revenue. The problem is it is net income negative. Surprisingly, though, it is free cash flow positive. Now, you have to understand, we're taking this free cash flow positive and revenue cycles at a level where monetary easing was at its highest. Many individuals were locked down, and they started essentially trading. So how much of that was an environmental basis rather than a company's outrun for the next 10 years? Well, right now, we're starting to see that a lot of, for example, Coinbase, BlockFi, Crypto.com, a lot of these entities are starting to come back, cut back employees, anticipating a crypto winter, literally directly quoted from the CEO, Armstrong, from Coinbase, right? So right now, it's extremely difficult. And if you look at the financials for Voyager and look at the balance sheet here, more specifically looking at the total assets, you can see they have about $3 billion in total assets, but the total liabilities is around $3 billion as well, indicating that they are near leverage. So if you were to calculate their current ratio, do they have enough money to essentially satisfy their short-term debt obligations within 12 months? Well, the answer is possibly not, Because if you look at the share dilutions, you can see that the company has been issuing shares in order to maintain its business. And this is not a way to run a business, and especially during a risk-off period, it's definitely quite scary. And if you look at the stock price, it's definitely shown this particular trajectory. But with we will continue with the intrinsic value calculation. But I do want to say the revenue is quite fascinating. And if they can maintain this revenue, this is directly from our website here, if we can maintain this revenue, then perhaps this is a good long-term play. Wall Street seems to like this stock as the buy rating on it is extremely high. The gross margins are quite impressive with 68, but again, I don't have a lot of data to work with, just one. So we'll see how they do in 2022. The operating margins need some fixing, but to go from negative 829 to negative 21, I exclude 2019 because they didn't make a lot of money. Majority of people that are probably watching this had more money coming into their own business rather than Voyager Digital at that time. But interestingly, if you look at the analyst ratings, it is a strong buy, but the technicals speak for themselves as they're all sell, right? Excluding just one. So the analysts believe that the Voyager Digital stock is going to grow at this year about 217%. So I'm going to be taking a 75% cut off of that, or 25% cut, giving you around 162. We can go ahead and do it here. 217 times 75%, 162.75. So we're going to put this in our calculation, 162.75. And we're going to be taking the revenue here, and we're going to try to estimate future cash flows. Normally, a good company has a free cash flow at around 5% of the revenue. So that is we're doing an assumption here. So because of the risk factors associated with crypto, I'm going to be giving it about 2.5% of the revenue to accurately price this company. So we're going to go in and we're going to type in the revenues that they had. So they had 1 million, then 175, and then 458. And these numbers I got literally from here, right? I just walk you guys through it so you understand. So I have 0.025, and if you multiply that by 100, it's 2.5%. So we're going to be taking this, and we are going to be calculating the estimated free cash flow for Voyager. So by doing this, we'll be able to have a good estimation on where the stock price should be. Now, again, because of the crypto winter, I'm not going to be extending this out to 10 years. I'm just going to be doing at max 2 years because I just don't have a lot of data to work with because they were I don't see any form of revenue or any form of significant revenue from Voyager Digital when we were when we were kind of on a value perspective, where value stocks were outperforming growth stocks. So we got to be a little careful, and it's called risk management, and they teach it at any MBA program that you go into. So by doing that, we are going to only extend it out to 2 years for the short-term perspective, and we're going to be inputting the free cash flow here, which is 0.025, 4.375, and again, these numbers are in millions, 11.45. And then we're going to divide by the number of outstanding shares. Now, they could dilute more, but 163 million shares outstanding from what I have from Morningstar. So 163 million gives you a price target of anywhere between $1.57 all the way to $2.62. Now, if you look at the price target currently for Voyager, it's trading around $1. So if you go ahead and put the current share price of 1.04 to be accurate for you guys here, we're looking at a 51% upside off of the bear case, 89% upside off of the base, and 152% upside off of the bull. Now, I doubt that they're going to be taking this 163% year over year for the next 10 years. I doubt that they're going to be doing that because these numbers are unrealistic, which is why I did 2 years, because crypto, the way this is based off of, it's based off of trades and how many people are going in and out of crypto. And from the looks of Bitcoin, this is cratering, okay? From the looks of Voyager, this is crater, crypto winters, for people that are in them, they know this maneuver. So it could be a good opportunity to come in and weather the storm and average down, but there are other companies right now that are undervalued, that are safer, such as, that won't dilute you, such as Meta, Facebook, right? Even Palantir, which is free cash flow positive and will be net income positive, is honestly a great buy at these levels. We have so many companies. CrowdStrike is free cash flow positive. So, it's almost like a bad relationship in a toxic relationship. You keep going back, but from the looks of this company, I'm not impressed. 51% to 152% upside. But again, this is, it was trading at these levels literally 5 days ago, right? So, our intrinsic value calculation is pretty on point here. It's hovering for the past couple months here. It's been hovering around the $2.50 to $1 region here. So take it as it is. I hope this video provides insight, and I hope this video protects investors from making a foolish mistake. Now, Wall Street seems to like this. Now, my sentiment for this company will change if they can continue growing at these levels, even during a crypto winter. If they can do that, then by golly, definitely a great investment, I would say, if they can somehow miraculously do these types of things. But understand that there's going to be a lot of regulation for crypto coming in, and with the SEC coming in on that. So just understand the outcome here. So if you like this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on all notifications, and tell me what you think about my analysis. And it's a privilege and honor to serve you guys, and I love each and every one of my subscribers. You guys don't know how much you mean to me. God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you guys on the next one.